So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Final play of the half. It's Lawrence. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Jalen Thompson picks it, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators, they sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? Now, I guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage.
Well done.
A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
10 more there and another 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
To Connor on the check down. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
And trouble, he'll go down back at the 12. Devin Lloyd picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
He saw that shit. He knew what I was about to do. He tried to hurt my man. Oh, shit. We take this field goal.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
Yeah, it's the same
They
game.
run behind center with Connor.
This 4th quarter.
What they're doing here is this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Maybe a gain of a yard that time. Half from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Again, it's Connor. And he'll be brought down well short of the 1st at about the 9-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
So they're able to build on things here with a field goal, but the question is how much longer can they really rely on their defense to pitch a shutout?
That's a great question, because you know the guys on the other sideline are saying, give us the ball. We want another shot at this. So yes, tight game, you'll take the 3. But this game, it's far from over.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And As you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
Exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Oh! That's the third interception for Lawrence. Picked off by Mack Wilson. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
It's hard to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Connor. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that game.
And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 26. 44 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Murray keeps it himself. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Cardinal football. They're also out in front of the scoreboard as we get set for the 4th. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. This a 43-yard attempt. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They're going for it. Hits Murray.
Got him!
That's complete. And he is into the end zone.
That pass.
Marvin Harrison Jr. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Cardinals have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Now Ryland for the PAT. It's no good on the
19 zip is good,
so
though,
they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is.
19 zip is good, solid.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Here's Lawrence to throw. This ball caught by Strange. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Well, I get it, Charles. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Down big, they just sent their receivers out, let it fly. But the defense, they were ready.
Yeah, and there aren't too many people left in this stadium that couldn't see that coming. But that's not a major criticism at all because you had to try it. What you're hoping for is one of your athletes out-athletes everyone else and makes a dramatic play.
Well, the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Second and a couple.
Yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 39.
To throw is Murray. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have a Cardinals first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Again, a run with Connor. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Working the middle of the field, and he's got man complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 14. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains.
1st and 10 at the 14.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. On the handoff, Connor. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. And the tackle made by Andrew Wingard.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
On 3rd down, it's Connor. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now Lawrence to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Well, these guys are not going to go out with their tails between their legs. They're going to keep taking their shots until the clock's at 000. But that one, like a lot of others, winds up incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Gun. Hey, run! 13 loose.
Lawrence. Thomas brings it in. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, go, son, it's a...
Looking to throw, Lawrence. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Lawrence. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
He'll try and do this himself. Back in the end zone. Can he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Looks like they're going to keep throwing to the bitter end. This one's long since over, but give them credit. They're going to go down fighting. That one, incomplete.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. Here we go. Got to have it. Lawrence. They'll find the open man. That's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Red on red.
They'll look to throw again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. But we're not seeing a confident throw. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And this is going to be caught. So offensive final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there.
Yeah, here we go.
Lawrence and the Jags offense staying out there. They'll go for 2 here.
Hey, Ryan. Here we go.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Buda Baker with a pick.
That keeps the score. Cardinals 22, Jaguars 6.
So they tried to tack on 2 more. Wouldn't have mattered as far as who won and who lost, but that's how this one ends.
Felt like cosmetics, didn't it? Just put another 2 points on the board, make the score look a little bit better. Maybe they wanted to run a 2-point conversion just to see what they had. Who knows? But it just wasn't necessary.
So that'll...